Hello, my lovely bunnies. So, I'm trying to think where I should sit here, but whatever. Okay. So, oh, it's raining. That's why the quality is not so good. Oh, anyway. Hi. I wanted to give a meditation on emptiness, Śūnyatā in Buddhism. So, okay, a lot of people have seen meditations on emptying the mind, meaning emptying the thoughts or clearing the thoughts, letting the thoughts go. That's great. I don't know if there's a meditation exactly like this. I couldn't find one on YouTube when I searched with Gemini, strangely. So there is one by Rob Burbea that I saw. And it was pretty good, but I can't necessarily recommend Burbea's teachings because he's a Mahayana guy and he gets lost in the Nagarjuna riddles and loops of thinking and stuff. And anyway, so directly experiencing emptiness. What is emptiness, first of all? Well, so Buddha taught that there's no essence to anything. And if you think about it, it's like, okay, there's the chariot analogy, so or a car, we can say, like, what makes a car a car? And we could deconstruct it. We could say, like, is it still a car if there's no wheels? And so forth and so on. And eventually, like, it's like unclear exactly what is a car. Well, a car is almost like an algorithm that we have for describing what a car is, but it's not like there's a clear, 100% clear definition of what a car is. And that's the same with everything. And it's important because the self, the sense of the self, is constructed based on the sense of solidity and the reification. If you've heard that word, it means like making a process into a thing. And so we construct the self out of many streams of processes. Or rather, I can't say we construct the self because, well, anyway, the point is, like, the processes, they come together and they reference each other because everything is interdependent. And that referencing of each other creates the possibility for a unified perception. And that unified perception creates the sense of self. Or rather, it creates the conditions for the perception of the sense of self. Because without the unified perception, of course, there would be no way that you could identify as anything. There would be nobody, nothing there to identify. So the mind is based on that. But, and I have a video already about the Nibbana meditation, where you visualize, or you feel the top of your head and you feel the bottoms of your feet, and you let the middle of your body disappear and just let the sensations be on their own separately as separate experiences. And that's like the gateway into Nibbana, or the unweaving of the mind and the ultimate reality and the end of rebirth. And but I wanted to make this video more specifically on the emptiness, understanding the emptiness, and then the meditation on the emptiness. So Sorry for the Muslim Sufi chanting in the background. It's the person chanting, I guess, is like not the best chanter, but it's still kind of nice that they're always chanting here. Anyway, so emptiness. You can kind of actually even feel it when you slow down the speech and you feel speech. Slow down how you say the words. Speech. Wow. Speech. It's almost like the word, it's not a word anymore, it's some really beautiful sounds. And the sounds are sensations. And they have no inherent anything that you could grasp onto. They're just flowing. And that flowing is so blissful and releasing and liberatory. Sounds flowing. See? So that's the really simple, just incredible bliss that's available to you right now. At all times. Just letting the stuff evaporate, kind of. Poof into the beautiful processes that make up the stuff that we think is stuff. Man, stuff is a funny word also. Stuff. Wow, it feels nice to say that. Have you ever just been surprised about perceiving a word? Like, when I was a kid, okay, you might think I'm just a little crazy because I'm like always, taking my love ayahuasca and stuff, but even when I was a kid, I was quite surprised that sometimes I would be like, the word the, it sounds so funny, the, and we say it all the time, the. And I was just almost like surprised all the time, like, I can't believe this is a real word, like this is the word that we use, the. I don't know, have you ever experienced that, like maybe when you were a child, like just thinking about words and like how funny they sound? I think adults don't really maybe think about that so much anymore, but it's that kind of, innocent, like playful, like noticing of things like before the consensus reality overlay on them develops and clouds you and like veils you, and so children, I think, are a lot closer to this understanding of emptiness, even though they don't necessarily understand unweaving the unified perception. But emptiness is kind of like the first stage there. And of course, we're always training them to stop with their silliness too much. And that's kind of sad, because that's why we're all so serious now. But I'm happy that my parents, I don't think they ever told me you play too much. No, I don't think so. They were enjoying my silliness. So that's probably why I kept it. But you can also go back to yours if you remember. So, hello from Senegal. Maybe we'll do a little bit more. That wasn't much of a meditation, was it? People like these long guided meditations. Of course, talking kind of puts you back into this kind of reification, because you're constructing meaning. So like, what I find a lot of times is, you know, I'm in a beautiful state, and then someone's like, hey, Joel, blah, 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 and I'm like, oh, I have to get back to talking and meaning and blah, 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 blah. La, la, la. You hear that? I like that. That's a nice one. La, la, la. So instead of blah, 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 I prefer la, la, la. Yeah. Allah. They're always saying Allah. And my ex Hallett was always telling me about the beautifulness of that word and the sound of it. Allah. It's like you're releasing some stress when you say Allah. You don't have to be Muslim to say it. You don't have to say, what do they say? I forget. Arabic now. Oh my gosh. Anyway. Anyway. So, emptiness. You can see, like, my mind is so empty right now, I'm having trouble trying to make a video right now. But that's okay, because that's basically the state that I'm trying to get you into. But okay, back to the guided meditation part. All right, let's see what could be in the mind right now. Let's see. Maybe you're feeling some bad things. Maybe, I don't want to impose any feelings, but let's just say sometimes people might feel some bad things like pain or grief or regrets or missing someone, etc. And so, okay, there's different strategies for actually different feelings, like missing. You can replace missing with love and loving kindness, and I have a video about that also. I learned to do that when my second wife, when we separated, when we divorced. And now when I think of her, I'm just always happy. I send love and I'm happy, and it's so nice. And anyway, But let's say there's another feeling that love itself maybe can't fully easily fix, like what? Pain, like physical pain, maybe. Of course, you can send love to the pain and the people who experience pain, and that helps. But, you know, pain is a good one because we very frequently make it into a story, even without words, but we make it into something like, oh, this is something so bad. And of course, pain is a signal that something is wrong, and so it's natural that we would feel that way about it. But if it's disturbing us and we maybe, you know, sometimes the pain signal is too chronic or something like that, and like we can't figure out how to deal with the root cause and stuff, so we just have to deal with the pain itself at some point. And of course, you know, people take like different herbs or whatever to help with pain, but let's just imagine, okay, we're feeling some pain somewhere now, and this pain, okay, I'm feeling a little bit of pain in my back right now because I'm hunching over for some reason for this video, to make this video with the phone angle, whatever. I could probably maybe fix my posture right now, but it's just, I'm not sure what the right posture would be for the video if possible. And anyway, so working with the pain, okay, it's not so bad, but it's like a little bit. Okay. Oh, you know what I have the best memory I could give you about this. But anyway, let's start with the physical pain. So, good Lord, what kind of a guided meditation teacher am I? Just terrible. Anyway, so I'm feeling the pain. Okay, so normally it might be like almost like you're trying to ignore it or something. Alright, so instead of just trying to ignore it, I'm going to allow it to fluctuate, because every sensation is always fluctuating, even imperceptibly at times, because we're reifying, we're making it into a thing. Okay, now I'm focusing on this pain. Now I'm very, like, I'm allowing the subtleties of it to flow, to feel the subtle nuances of it. As I breathe, that's changing it. So, breathing, of course, is changing your circulation. When you breathe in, it's increasing your blood pressure, because there's more air in your lungs and it's pushing everything, and of course in your back it's pushing your back, and yeah, then you breathe out, and yeah, there's a lot of change happening. And that's actually wow, it's kind of nice to feel the flow of this change rather than just see it as a static pain. Wow, nice. Okay, now let me give you the memory that I have with my second wife, the love of my life. So when we first got together, well, the whole time she had a very bad anger problem, and at first the anger was not even directed to me, and so that's why I thought it was cool. But anyway, it was fine. I could deal with it until it became directed at me. But anyway, so I remember one time I was in the kitchen in at that time we were living with my mom, and anyway, so B was yelling at me and yelling, and somebody, and like calling me the devil and blah blah blah. And I was sitting down, and I was like, oh, this is painful that she's yelling at me like this. But then I said, wait a minute, let me use this as a practice opportunity. Let me just allow the anger that she's throwing at me to go through me, instead of kind of like blocking it and making it into like a thing that I have to deal with. And so I kind of just imagined like my body becoming transparent and it just flowing through like air. And it became so amazingly blissful. I was super surprised. And I was sober. I was not on any drugs. And I started smiling so much, and that made her go crazy. She's like, what's going? You're smiling and I'm yelling? Like, what are you're not taking me seriously, you know? And so it kind of like, in some sense, it backfired, maybe in that way, but for me, it was beautiful. And it could have worked also for her if she was a little bit more receptive to that. I remember when I was a young child, that kind of worked for me a little bit, but because, you know, I was a happy child and everything like that, but as a child, you know, every child is like very, you know, narcissistic and stuff at times, and so I was, what was it? It was like I wanted to go to my friend's house or something, and it was late at night, and my mom was like, yeah, it's bedtime, like something like that, I don't know. And I was like, I hate you, I hope you die. And she said, oh, but I love you. And I was like, what? How can I hate someone who loves me? It doesn't make any sense. It was such a mind fuck. And it really threw me into a meditation. She was really amazing mom, you know, because a lot of parents would just be like, well, fuck you, and like, you know, I don't know, go to your room and like, don't ever talk to me like that and stuff. Anyway, okay, I think this is we're done here. I don't know if this worked for you. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting I was gonna do. But, you know, that's life. Everything is unique and different, and I think there was some value at some point. So, you know, like, share, and leave a comment if it was nice for you. Okay, much love. Mwah.